you want to let it go, suck them off and let them go. That's kind of gay, but still. God damn, bro. Pause. Okay, over here. Bad news. IRL streamer. People concert. Watch the new NAS X, bro.
1 minute, you could be looking like a future king of the music industry.
Bro, I literally forgot where he went. Like, the last time I saw it, he was basically mocking, like, Jesus and stuff. So he was doing. Mocking it and shit. Now he's cooked. He's gone.
After proving that not only are you more than a one-hit wonder you were believed to be, but a record-breaking artist who knew how to wrap the culture around your finger with meticulous marketing skills. The next, all of those tactics, which once paid off, aren't hitting the same anymore, as people begin to wonder if there's any real substance behind all the formerly shocking antics that they're now accustomed to. You might wonder how it's possible that someone who has 3 Billboard #1s could fumble this badly, but this isn't a hypothetical.
Bro, we made Holiday, so many other things. Hey, it's a holiday. It's another way. I can't even close my eyes. Don't know why. Don't like surprises. I can't even stay away.
Situation. It really happened to one rapper whose bag of tricks now looks pretty empty and whose music and media manipulation isn't hitting anywhere the same anymore.
I thought he'd like low-key just quit making music, honestly. He probably did.
It's your boy INSTA, and this is the fall of Lil Nas X. These days, Lil Nas X's music videos might score 1 million views or 2, with some fans clicking on to
he still makes music videos. Oh yeah, I remember this sus scene. One that they were all rubbing up on each other's body and shit. Oh shit, what the hell happened? For millions to probably because he was inconsistent.
See what this once infamous creative is now doing. And while some people would be delighted with those views, it's a major decline for a man whose breakout song has over 1 billion on the platform.
Oh, well, he made like over 6 mil off that video. We probably had to pay like 2 mil off.
Platform with several
wasting hours grinding in
probably over 6 mil. Making hours grinding.
single player. With Wiimod, you can hit skip on the boring stuff like endless farming.
Cheating, bro.
Others approaching.
Like cheating, bro. How you gonna enjoy the game? Like this, the main point of playing a game is to enjoy it, like reminisce and give yourself something to think about and do other shit, not just doing random shit and just fucking hacking in the game, bro. It's not valid.
That mark. Likewise, he hasn't had a single chart on the billboards since January 2024, and even then, it was a far cry from the history-making runs he was once going on. And now, people including the infamous Azalea Banks are starting to take notice. Lil Nas X really fell off so hard. That little rag swore she was the T. Bitch has no bars. Even though he rightly clapped back.
Okay, bro. Like, he probably made better songs than she did, and she. I'm defending her like still. Probably made better songs than she has ever made. He probably just fumbled, lost his touch. Just like when you're playing basketball and you stop for a bit, you eventually become shittier. That's probably what happened to him. Most likely what happened to him. Probably lost his touch. Ooh, it slipped away. The ball was in his position. He grabbed it one time, tried shooting, after he missed, and gave up.
Back to claim that he would still be more successful than her without another hit in his entire career. That's ultimately not where this Atlanta-based LGBTQ artist wants to be. At just 26 years old, the last thing they should be doing is relying on past.
I remember like some of my friends basically they met him. It was it was the same Atlanta, bro. I think it was like some. What's it called? It was is it amusement park? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, amusement park. It was some amusement park, and like they saw him. They were talking about it. I saw like pictures and shit. I'm not gonna show it because like I'm not fucking saying showing their faces on there, bro. That's weird.
Twins. And during his early rise, it seemed like that was the last thing he intended to do. In fact, he had dreams of being a generational artist who could make it in any genre he chose.
I'm not gonna ever have one sound, and it's not that I'm confused about what I'm trying to be, it's that I'm not trying to have one sound. I don't want people like, okay, oh, another Lil Nas X song, basically.
But to trace how it went wrong, we first need to head back to the beginning to pinpoint exactly where he started taking the wrong turns. Since he first gained prominence, Lil Nas X has always been immersed in controversy. Arguably, he was trained for it after spending his time as a barb, leading a Nicki Minaj stan account called Nas Mirage in his youth. But just living vicariously through his idol wasn't enough for him. Instead, Nas had dreams of obtaining fame in his own right, and soon he dropped out of school to pursue music. And as a little unemployed kid with little to no prospects, he had no—
Why do you look like that, bro? Oh my days. His arms skinny as shit. Oh my days, bro. Hey, I'm not trying to hate you, but I'm just saying. It just looks weird. Kinda looks weird, bro. Or that's just me.
no choice but to make it. And after dropping a few tracks in hope of making it, he was no further forward. That is until he stumbled upon a track produced by the Dutch producer Young Keo, which he purchased for $30.
I would always get my beats like from YouTube. I'll just go through like 100 beats.
It's really just luck that people just find your stuff, you know? It's really luck.
I found the beat on like Halloween night. The beat was just speaking to me, you know? I was like, this song's gonna be great.
Did you conceive of the song as a country rap song?
Country trap. But like if I had to choose which one is more leaning towards, it would definitely be country. I got the horses in the back. Horse stock is attached. Had it.
But that song, I hear that song is kind of sucks. It's like, you know, riding on your horse and shit. Or like, we just talking about riding and shit. That's what people just saying this sus and shit. But I don't know.
This mighty black, got the bushes black to match.
That beat became the origins of Old Town Road, a simple song which fused hip-hop with classic country imagery. And from the outset, Nas knew that he had a winner due to his knowledge of how the meme-infested world worked. I got the horses in the back. I was like, this is gonna be the highlight of the memes right here, he informed NPR. And then, the cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty. I was like, these are all quotable. I was just doing that the entire month of making the song. Put this right here. Oh, this is gonna be the best plan ever. And you know it worked. After
rhyming, it's always good in music.
promoting the song through TikTok at a time when the platform was just taking off, Old Town Road became an online sensation, and soon it made its attack on the Billboard Hot 100. And here, we have the first time that Lil Nas X learned that controversy will only make you a bigger star when a ruling was made that it should be excluded from the country charts. Upon
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of following a laid-out path. Explore a vast open world.
On further review, it was determined that Old Town Road by Lil Nas X does not currently merit inclusion on Billboard's country charts. When determining genres, a few factors are examined, but first and foremost is musical composition. While Old Town Road incorporates references to country and cowboy imagery, it does not embrace enough elements of today's country music to chart in its current version. With accusations of discrimination in the air, Lil Nas had the culture on his side, with everyone believing that it should be reinstated immediately.
When you get to like the country charts, you know what I'm saying? And then they pull your song off the country charts when they say it's not country enough or it's not country music. Does that affect you in any way?
At first it was just like, you know, all right, okay, I'm still on Billboard.
Right.
But then I looked at, you know, what people were saying. I was like, okay, this does make sense. Okay, like I'm listening to other songs and I'm like, there's some trap elements in some of these. What's going on? And like, it was like, okay. I was like disappointed. It was just like, okay, whatever. I didn't want to get, blackballed.
Yeah. And then you probably didn't want to play that.
Blackball is like basically blacklists you from getting in there and shit. Something like that.
The whole black card too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because it's like,
because I played it for you. I was like, man, if he was Caucasian, they'd have him on there. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't have to say it. You know?
I didn't.
With Billy Ray Cyrus eventually coming to his aid for a version that could enable them to make the country charts, Lil Nas maintained that the song is country trap. It's not one, it's not the other, it's both. It should be on both. Well, whatever it was, the fact is that it was doing the kinds of numbers he could live off forever.
I mean, you beat Drake #1 streaming. Like, how?
I don't like saying beat Drake. Let's just say I did #1 stream.
You're just so young without the beard, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but that's a really big deal for 20 years old, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's insane.
Are you speechless at this point? Exactly.
All at every single day.
No. It was a good time. Shit, bro.
Over time, it reached an unprecedented 17th week at #1, beating Despacito.
Okay, Despacito, bro. Oh my days, the OG song of the OGs, bro. I was low-key tough. Despacito, Despacito,
To become the all-time longest-running #1. Since then, that figure has expanded to 19 weeks, making him a true record breaker. While the song and the remixes that came with it were still riding high, Lil Nas X's 7 EP
Also, yo, put it back up. I'm trying to see it. How many do you have? And why the hell you take it down?
He proved that he wasn't a one-trick pony with tracks like Panini, but it also marked the turning point where he revealed that he was gay by coming out with the release of the insightful track Closure.
Yo, Jojo, don't hurt that. She's called you a gay ass nigga, bro. Say you love sucking it, bro. Crazy.
You like. In the aftermath, it became a part of the narrative around him, and by telling his story,
I remember that shit was on Roblox and shit. Shit was on Roblox, bro.
He hoped it could have had an impact on others.
Don't you think you coming out could probably help others who are struggling the way you were struggling with it?
I think it's gonna always help, you know, we still have a long way to go because it's not like everybody like messing with me now, because of course, somebody who's like listening to me in school right now, it's like, you gay because you're listening to him. So it's like, it's still a lot to be done, of course, but I do believe it's helping.
In a culture that's as macho as hip-hop, that was always going to be an obstacle to overcome. And with Lil Nas choosing to deploy it by being as loud and proud with his sexuality as possible, it's definitely not ever been something listeners could forget. Still, he had high hopes of a lengthy career.
Where do you see yourself in the...
Are you ready to have better sex? In this class, you'll learn how to build sexual confidence and understand the dynamics
in the next 5 years?
I see myself somewhere that I can't even imagine right now. Yeah.
With your music, do you see it taking off? You want to focus on that?
Yeah, I want to do music, but you know, I'm also going to do a lot of other stuff too. You know, so it's not
just basic. Who the hell is this? Basically, like collage and shit, and basically fucks up everything.
not just one source of income type of thing.
Absolutely. Are we gonna have more country hip hop songs coming out?
Yeah, I can't say that for sure how many or when, because I'm not going to force any kind of music. So if it works, then it's working. But if it doesn't, then
And it was easy to see why. After all, between a chaotic Twitter account and his use of music videos, he was quickly being hailed as a marketing genius.
This dude has...
Well, people were also trying to call him like, what's it called? Industry plant and shit. Because how the hell you blow up that quick? Because that's what the people are seeing and shit.
literally memed his way to the top. Like, this dude is incredibly plugged into meme culture, millennial and zoomer humor. The dude really seems to understand what his audience wants.
Despite initial fears that he would fade into obscurity, once the buzz over his country rap crossover track died down, he had a slew of tracks like Panini and his Christmas track Holiday, which also did well. But everyone knew he was up against the expectation that he couldn't exceed what he's done, including Lil Nas himself.
The truth is, Old Town Road is like super huge. You know, so people they're like looking for stuff to say, I guess, that could be used against me, you know? And even though I have a song Rodeo 2 times platinum, Panini 5 times platinum, Holidays is doing really.
Actually, no, that's the wrong one. That's the Indian version.
Great. It's like, oh, we don't care. You're still a one-hit wonder, and it's like that. It literally, that doesn't make sense. How is that possible? And some people may genuinely think so, which is fine because there are some people that aren't super into pop culture, so they may only know this thing about me. And I guess it's fine. It's something, you know, I carry on my back. There's literally people that say things like, "Why is he even still making music? He'll never have a song that's bigger than." It's like, that literally doesn't make sense in logic. It's like, I'm making music because I love making music.
Initially, it looked to be a concern, as while other songs received fanfare, they didn't have anywhere near that kind of motion that his breakout hit did. However, it wouldn't be long until he hit it big again. The only problem is that once he got that second #1, he began running that formula into the ground, to the point that it'd also be the beginning of the end. In 2020, Lil Nas X unveiled the now notorious Montero Call Me By Your Name. Not long after Old Town Road dropped, he was teasing new tracks, and he knew he had to come with something special for the rollout of.
Hey yo, okay, when he gets on the ground, I'm guessing they all tried giving him back shots and shit. No, gay shit, pause. That's what I'm thinking. He all start giving him after you're gonna be like taking it and shit, but like, who knows?
Of the song when the snippet started to gain traction.
I put the snippet out in like June. I was like, oh, people really fucking with this. I know what's gonna happen, but it was like my biggest like snippet, you know? It's like, cool. And I immediately started thinking, I was like, what should I do for this video? And I got this one lyric that's called, if you've any guardian, you know that you can't call me when you want, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, let me take this to like these religious theme and flip it onto my own, you know? And I had a lot of fun with it. And I kind of like took something that really made me hate myself as a child and kind of made it into my own thing, you know?
The end result was a music video that enlisted a whole host of religious imagery and even featured him giving the devil a lap dance.
Yeah, everyone was hating on him for that, because why the fuck you giving, like, out of everyone, you could have done a regular human. Niggas giving devil back shots. No, getting back shots from the devil.
Prior to snapping his neck. But that's not all. Alongside a whole host of proactive posts on social media, the rollout of the track was accompanied.
Damn shits, I was questioning what the fuck was happening,
his neck,
bro.
But that's not all. Alongside a whole host of proactive posts on social media.
Every nigga was saying he was pregnant and he changed trans and shit. This shit, I was questioning, bro. I thought this nigga got some surgery and shit, cause like rich niggas are able to get surgeries like this and shit. Like, but yeah.
The rollout of the track was accompanied by the release of the special edition Air Max.
That he put a fucking drop of blood and paint in the shoe side.
Nikes featuring a whole host of satanic symbolism. And with that, Lil Nas X became the enemy of conservative media and had pastors losing their minds.
I didn't know who Lil Nas X was. Lil Thug, whoever, I had no idea who he was. We was riding this morning, Hudson said, well, you know what made him famous? I said, well, he was at Horses. Got my horses and whatever that song. I was like, man, that song got a cool beat. I'll never be able to listen to it again. A bunch of devil worshiping, wicked nonsense, pentagram wearing on your Nike tennis shoe 666. You think I'm gonna stand for that? You've lost your mind. You tell Lil Nas X I said so. A bunch of Satanism, bunch of wickedness, bunch of devilism, bunch of demonism, bunch of psychotic wickedness.
All the while, the track rose to #1, eventually going 7 times platinum. Once again, the belief from the music industry was that the Columbia-backed artist understood exactly what he was doing. A powerful music video can spark a larger conversation and create a real movement. Kevin Meenan, music charts manager at YouTube, said to Billboard, Lil Nas X has been very explicit that this was his goal. He's a genius. He really knows how to capitalize on the moment and keep it going. But while he was naturally celebrated by the LGBTQ community for pushing boundaries, it marked the point that hip-hop began to lose sight of what he was trying to do. I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that he don't understand Old Town Road is every kid's anthem. Tweeted Joyner Lucas in the wake of its release. Children love him for that record. They tuned in and subscribed to his channels. So with
after he started going for artists of this stuff.
no disclaimer, he just dropped some left field ish and all of our kids seen it. Shaking my head. And from this point on, Lil Nas had to acknowledge that he wasn't fitting in with rap music anymore, or even being deemed as an artist working in that field. Honestly, I don't feel as respected in hip-hop or many music places in general. Lil Nas X told XXL, but these are communities that I am a part of, whether people would like it or not. This is something that I wanted to do because, not that my entire album is rap, but there are rap tracks on my album. I am a rapper, I am a pop star, I am a gay artist. But it's like, I belong in these places, you know? Despite his belief that he should be given credit where it's due, much of the hip-hop establishment continued to rally against him. And stunts like pretending to be pregnant with his album didn't improve his credibility either.
Like when I'm talking about this shit, I'm so serious. This dude is trolling, bro. Like, hey, bro, I'm not fucking with Lil Nas. It's what the world is accepting. You know, they're accepting it because, like, you taking girls' Instagram for showing their nipples or printing their nipples. But you can let a man be pregnant? You can let a man be pregnant and it's cool? With all these young boys watching, you can let a man be pregnant on social media? But a woman can't show her nipples or her pussy pregnant? Yeah.
Okay. There's literally ways around that, bro. Instagram still allowed to. Instagram literally still allowed to.
You better wake up, bro.
Because of his reputation, Jack Harlow claimed he was advised not to work with Lil Nas X. However, the end result of Industry Baby giving him his first #1 meant that it clearly paid off.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, when they were basically doing whatever the freaky shit.
However, the end result of Industry Baby giving him his first #1 meant that it clearly paid off. As for Lil Nas' debut album Montero, the record
Montero was probably the one that got the most, yeah. Most likely.
That's fresh. The record was received well in the commercial and critical worlds, scoring 126,000 first-week sales. But while the album did well, it's fair to say that no songs had the same buzz as those big singles, and there was a general mystery over where he went from there. However, Lil Nas suggested that he had a lot more to do.
The reason why he fell off was probably most likely because he basically took a break. That's what happens to basically YouTubers and other people. Obviously, once you take a break, okay, think about it. Like, when you basically take a break, people start watching you for a while because they're looking for the next alternative source. What the hell did I say, sock? Yeah, a source. Alternative source. That is basically, it has something similar to you, but maybe better or worse. Maybe they downgrade. Who knows? But people just go for the alternative source. Just like fucking Corey Kinston. They didn't have nothing to watch, so they went for a bootleg. And people who do the same thing as him, because he stopped posting. Then after, eventually you're gonna have to make them used to it. Just keep leaving, coming back, and just doing the same shit. Yeah.
And he wasn't going to be defined by the success of Old Town Road. In fact, he argued he would actually surpass it.
Is it hard to outdo yourself when you have the biggest song of all time and it continues to grow? Just went 15 times platinum?
It's not. I mean, because there's always other areas that I can go bigger in. And it's always, I know for a fact, I promise this, we'll have this footage when it happens. I'm going to have more weeks at #1 with a different song than Old Town Road. I promise.
Yeah, since then, it hasn't really panned out that way. Not only has he not replicated his earlier successes, but he's actually slid into irrelevance as his buzz and the marketing strategies which created it in the first place have began to lose their steam. During his initial run, there was a lot made of how Lil Nas X seemed to have the knowledge of how to elevate his music with publicity stunts, as whenever there was controversy, he managed to use it to his advantage. But while some hailed him as a genius, others predicted that these ploys had a ceiling on them, at times even making unfavorable comparisons to explain where they felt he was as an artist.
Kinda cute though. Lil Nas X probably started hating on him.
Now realize that Lil Nas X is nothing more than a talented troll. He's talented at gaining attention and leveraging the fact that he's homosexual to heighten attention because we all care about the LGBTQ community. Lil Nas X will use and control that attention and keep drumming it up to hopefully promote records. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Lil Nas X is nothing but a gay 6ix9ine.
Over the course of an explosive rant, Ack went even further and suggested that the whole strategy was transparent.
There's no
So you basically calling him a rat and shit.
judgment here when it comes to what you prefer. But it's only to disguise the fact that since Old Town Road, I don't know a song. And you could show them all these other songs hitting the charts. Spotify's listening crazy. I don't know another song. That's it. I think all he's doing is because he's not that talented. I don't think Lil Nas X is that talented. I think once I saw him just trying to troll it up, I'm like, oh, you couldn't find the record. Because let's rewind. The Lil Nas X breakaway song was a parody. He didn't make country music. He was a gay dude running a Nicki Minaj fan page and made a song as a joke.
Guys just trolling, bro. No, like he's mad because maybe he's mad or not, but who knows? Could be.
Still, at the time, Lil Nas acted like the criticism couldn't possibly get to his head. He even suggested that he could take the hate in his stride, and he was angering the audience that he was intended to.
You handle it well. When people go at you, you handle it really well, which is surprising because most artists, they can't handle it. You see them break down, you see them get into...
What the hell?
just announced that they're raising prices for everyone in the US. Sneaker resale platform Poison won't even let US customers buy anything. Shein prices have skyrocketed, some increased by 300%. Temu is trying to hide price increases by saying everything now ships magically from the local warehouse.
The problems you see.
I definitely do, bro. Display the tariffs on product prices, but Trump personally called Bezos and said, so he took it down. So why now? Well, right now, the final tariff-free cargo ships carrying Chinese goods have just entered the...
Break down sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm never gonna do that shit publicly. And I feel like anybody that's pissed off are the exact people that need to be pissed off. You know?
Clearly, this is a concept that Lil Nas X really has a lot of stake in, because
I switched from due dates to due dates, and it made me go from weeks behind to weeks ahead of my deadlines. You see, I used to just bed rot all day getting nothing done. And you know that
because soon, it would lead to his first major mistake. When the track J Christ became the first time that his viral marketing either went too far for people or just got boring. A track where he depicted himself as Jesus, the song understandably enraged some people. It even had Kai Cenat ready to throw hands, even if his word choice was a little ironic considering he was beefing with Lil Nas X.
No! Fuck that! Yo, Lil Nas X, you can eat my whole dick. I hate that nigga, bro. Nah, that shit just popped in my head, bro. That nigga, bro, nah, word of my mother, bro, God gonna handle you in the right way. I didn't even talk about that yet, bro, but look, God gonna handle you, bro, and you're, bro. He did. No, bro. What he did? No, bro.
But to others, the fact that he was antagonizing religious groups again just seemed like he'd run out of ideas. He's carving himself out to be a one-trick pony, and the trick is already so damn tired. He took the formula of his past success and transparently tried to replicate it in the most uninspired way imaginable, just frantically smashing the rage bait button. I thought he was an exciting artist to watch after his debut track, but if this track is any indication of what's to come, it's hard to be excited anymore. So while some people were enraged, others were just growing weary of the whole thing, and anyone who felt that the public were likely sick of the whole shtick were proven right when the track peaked at number 69 on the charts. As the backlash raged on, Lil Nas uncharacteristically explained himself.
I wanted to not necessarily apologize, but I wanted to explain like where my head at and where
peaked at number 69 on the charts. As the backlash raged on, Lil Nas uncharacteristically explained the track peaked at number 69 on the charts. As the backlash raged
if you watch this, as a good Christian, if you watch this, you're sick, crazy. True.
Raged on, Lil Nas uncharacteristically explained himself.
Usually they don't even mock other religions like that. I'm just saying, they literally don't.
I wanted to not necessarily apologize, but I wanted to explain like where my head at and where it's been for like the last week. So first of all, when I did the artwork, I knew like there would be some upset people or whatnot, simply because, you know, religion is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. But I also didn't mean to like mock. This wasn't like a fuck you to you people, fuck you to the Christians. Like, you know, it was not that. It was literally me saying, oh, I'm back like Jesus. Like, that was like the whole thing. I'm not the first person to dress up as Jesus. I'm not the first rapper. I'm not the first artist, and I won't be the last.
However, the public didn't buy it and suggested he only did so to try and make amends when the gamble didn't pay off like before. You very clearly enjoyed the controversy. This whole thing, from the controversy to the apology, feels very forced. Almost like you planned a controversy and an apology. Left reeling from his first big flop, Lil Nas X tried to explain it further during a podcast appearance without really taking any ownership.
That message like turned around and I didn't know how to like do anything with it. It wasn't my chaos anymore. It was the world's, and anything anybody said was true because that's who I am as a person. I'm this troll and I want to make these people mad. And so everybody can run with that. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can say as many things as I want, but knowing my history, they look right, I look wrong.
But while he used to look confident in everything he was putting out, Lil Nas admitted he was at a crossroads musically.
You've like been so like focused and like zoned in on what you're doing, and you push your art out into the world, and it's kind of like received negatively by like the majority, you know what I mean? But then like also understanding why and having to like see it through. So I guess that's where I'm at right now, and my next move, you know, the things that I'm planning on right now, I feel like somewhere in here there's going to be this magical moment that I can't even take credit for. And yeah, I feel like that's going to sweep. I feel like that always happens. So
yeah, there's always magic in the messiness.
Yeah.
And just as he struggled to regain his footing after Jay Christ backfired on him, interest has been plummeting ever since. Now, fans have tried to rationalize why he's fading from sight. I feel like he's losing relevance, but it's only because he doesn't know what he wants his next persona to be, so he's trying different moods. For personal reasons, he's retreated from the public eye twice. Jay Christ got a low reception for him, so the label immediately put a bunch of restrictions on him releasing other things. At this time, this was just a fan theory. However, this notion of issues with his label was soon backed up by an account, which is rumored to be run by an undercover music industry insider who claimed in December of 2024 that Lil Nas X had his album scrapped. His label Columbia Records hated the project and asked for a new album. Only 3 songs were saved. Now 4 years on from the release of his debut album, Lil Nas X is in a tough spot. Now, the music isn't hitting as it once did, and even the shock value wore off now that he's generated as much controversy as he could.
Off rip, when he came with the first record, everybody's like, what in the hell? He went from 0 to 100 instantly.
Real quick.
Like, quick, boom. He instantly was like, wow. And it gave people hope, like, yo, you might be onto something so dope that other little black boys can follow right behind you in this way, and it's showing that they don't have to just rap or do R&B or just like you're singing country music, right? But then the success hit him so hard, that was already part of his low. Then he had to come back around with the other joint where he comes out like, hey, here I am. So that was like, whoa. That was another part of that load. It was like, whoa. So then to come back, once he came out, then he came with the whole video, him giving the devil fellatio. It was just so extreme that I feel like he blew his load. Like people were just at that point like, you can't surprise me with nothing else.
But the main problem for Lil Nas X is that people just aren't checking for him anymore. These days, behind the scenes footage of his old music videos pulled in more views than new music videos that he's releasing, and it's hard to imagine what it's going to take to change that. Even his dedicated fans—
He's already rich enough, I don't think he cares. Yeah, he does care. He's already way too rich. He made a lot of money off that video and shit.
They're wondering where he goes from here. His new singles aren't doing numbers, and his biggest new single, Hotbox, only has 5 million streams so far. Is Lil Nas X cooked? Another major issue is that Lil Nas X doesn't seem to have the same belief as before. Just look at this deleted post, where he shared snippets and then second-guessed himself, asking fans if they were any good. Been hoarding music for years, shaking my head. I hate my relationship with fear of my songs not doing well in perception. I wish I could just release music and not give a fuck. Anyways, enough venting here. What's your guys' top 2 of these snippets?
3 years, 3 cities. For an experience like you've never had before. You want it all.
Where criticism used to roll off his back, the backlash he's experienced in recent years has clearly infiltrated his mind. And one thing we know by now is that artists can triumph when they're in their heads to that degree. That's when you start trying to make music to appease audiences rather than just what you want. And now, the verdict is that he's making subpar tracks.
This is not a very catchy track from Nas X. He's written far catchier songs in the past. Like, the whole F Up the Night refrain feels like a forgettable hook from a Kid Cudi record from years ago. So yes, while it does sound big and it does sound expensive, simultaneously, it's shallow and it's not really bringing a whole lot to get excited about to the table.
Still, Lil Nas acknowledged as he briefly leaked the track Light Again that there's plenty more tracks where that came from, while also hinting at both conflicts with Columbia and how much he is struggling to deal with the pressure to follow up with what he's done before.
All the other shit, of course, like I want to like be number 1 all the time. I want every song to go up and I want shit to go crazy. But it's like at the same time, like I want to fucking have fun. I want to go and live life. I just want to make music. I don't want to have to do crazy shit all the time. I want to make music. I want to fucking have fun. I want to live any fucking way. Y'all go and listen to Light Again on SoundCloud because it's my favorite song ever. Let's go. 2 in, 2 up, back ends, look up.
No matter how much he hyped it up, the track's official video still only landed 3.5 million without making
That's so good.
any dent on the Billboard charts. And for him,
probably like 8K around there.
That might as well be starting from the beginning all over again. Since then, Lil Nas X has been trying to fall back on his capacity for trolling, staring into the idea of being blackballed with self-imposed humiliation rituals on the timeline.
Backpack, 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 backpack. Dabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-doo. Everything that you might need, I got it right for you.
But as his new Dream Boy album approaches, it feels like the buzz is basically non-existent. Honestly, the most attention he's gotten recently was from revealing he has Bell's palsy.
And when I smile, this is me doing a full smile right now, by the way. It's like, what the fuck? Bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, people were saying, oh, that's from eating too much dick and shit. That's actually crazy. And some lady said, how come it's not happening to me and stuff?
Overall, Lil Nas X is an unfortunate example of what happens when an artist goes back to the well one too many times. Within an instant, people had enough of the same old scheme, and now he's trying to prove to them once more that he has something else to offer. But unless something big changes, he's gonna be stuck with people asking where it all went wrong.
See, I say like this.